The moment's arrived. Thank you, Tony Cox. Yes, I'm here. I don't know why there was a little bit of a hiccup there, but I'm here, and you're there. So hi, Tony. Thanks for being here. And I'm just trying to get this other camera in a decent spot for the build, but it's like right in front of my face. And that's okay. That's all right, right? You don't mind that? I need to come up with a rig. Maybe I'll do an episode on making a rig for this. Actually, let's just do this. How about, let's do it. He lives! Yes! I know next I have to figure out not only the rig, but then also how to get these messages from everyone in real time, because it is kind of strange that there's a delay. I know there's a latency setting. So how's that look? We're going to try an overhead for this build. Okay, hi, how you doing? Tony Cox, nice to see you. And there's apparently 3 other viewers here, so that's great. Welcome to, oh, let me get my other microphone on. Welcome to lunchtime. Sorry, how's that? Mr. Thibodeau, hello, hello, all right. Hello. Okay, I have multiple microphones because I'm recording on this microphone here, the little one, the Tascam, for the actual episode. And then this big one here is for the live stream. Yes, glad to have you. Glad to have you, because we're doing some more work on the Falcon. My friend Tony here, who's also in the chat, he's working on a similar scheme for the Enterprise from that other Star series. And I think he's actually going to finish his long before I finish mine, because there is a shipping delay. Not a shipping delay, I think a whole manufacturing delay on the DeAgostini Millennium Falcon, which is a bummer. So I have, I think, 1, 2, 3 more boxes, and then who knows? I sent them an email the other day, the friends over at Model Space, and I asked them very nicely what's happening, because I've already spent, $600, $700 on this kit, and it would just be a shame if I end up with half a kit. So, and they said, we are working on it. We will get it to you as soon as possible. They didn't give me any further information. Oh, Scott, you're working on the Enterprise as well. That's awesome. Maybe you and Tony can share some war stories. Tony Cox says, shortage with the Enterprise too. I only got 1 kit last month. Oh, interesting. Now, did you reach out to your distributor to see if there was a reason? Is there just a shipping delay? Is it stuck in a cargo vessel somewhere out at sea? Or is there manufacturing issues? I'm curious because I can't get any information from Model Space. No kidding. So you now have the complete Falcon kit. And how long was the delay between, so Scott says his missing 2 boxes for the Falcon finally showed up, so he now has the complete Falcon kit. So how long was it between your last shipment and this shipment? 2 months. Okay, all right. I think I'm already at the 2-month mark. So I'm hoping, but I also am a few boxes behind, so I'm just kind of taking my time. But I am trying to clear my desk of all these models because I really want to start working on the half studio scale Tanta V4. So let's crack on in. So Tony Cox says, not yet, going to reach out to them today. Only got 1 kit over 2 shipments. Oh, interesting. Okay. So I guess I'm relieved that it's not just a Millennium Falcon issue. It's different model types as well. Although I will say somebody's really pushing. I'm getting targeted a lot, and I don't know if you all are as well, targeted a lot in my Facebook and Instagram feeds for the, it's an R2 kit, but it's not a studio scale because that would be huge. But I think it's like a 1/6 scale or a 1/5 scale R2 kit. Okay, hold on just a second. So let's just do this real quick. All right, issue 42. And to this issue, we are working on detailing the recess, which we've done in a previous episode. So let's crack open that. Sorry, I had to do that because I have this other camera recording, and I needed to do the intro for that segment. So, ooh, what is this? All kinds of fun stuff. I hope that's, yeah, that picks that up all right. Oh, I see. Oh, so this magazine, issue 42, comes with a screw tapper. A screw tapper. And that is because apparently, and my friend Alex mentioned this as well, I have to try and get another issue 31 as some of the frame parts are wrong. I can't complete the frame until I do. I'm also doing R2-D2 from Fan Home with my kids. Oh, that's cool. So what's the scale on that R2 kit? Is it 1/6 scale? All right. Okay. So this particular kit comes with a screw tapper because there are some screw holes on the frame that actually were a little too tight. So they kindly give you this screw tapper to help thread those holes better and tap the hole a little bit better so you can get your screws in there. But I actually, for the bottom frame, have not had any issues, so I'm just going to put that aside for now. All right, so detailing the recess. We have all kinds of nice little parts here. More hull frames or hull pieces. Now, with these recesses in particular, the magazine does a good job of actually illustrating what number goes where, because there is a very particular order you have to put these in because of the layering. And I don't know if you can see that well, but these are all numbered here, and then they're numbered also on the actual piece itself. And that just helps keep things nice and organized and gets you on the path to success. So, all right. All right, so Scott says in regards to the R2, it's a half scale. Really? So how tall is a half scale? Or 1/22 scale? The half scale would be, so if R2 is 3 feet, so that would be 1.5 feet roughly. It's a big kit. Or you could just go down to Galaxy's Edge and spend $25,000 on a life-size R2. I'm not going to do that. I have my own life-size R2 in my office upstairs that I made lovingly, and actually his wheels and gears and stuff are over in that box there. I really do need to dust that whole thing off because right now he's just a statue and I want to get him animated. So there's so many friggin' projects. Oh, okay, but it's slightly smaller. Interesting, cool. You'll have to share some progress pictures of that as that goes along. And now, Tony, with your Enterprise, are you actually building it as it comes in, or are you just going to stockpile all the kits and then put it together? Yeah, I'm going to change this up a little bit. I don't like that angle. Okay. And maybe I can do this. Not a fan of my angles these days. Okay, let's try that one. I need to, Tony, I'm going to tap into your expertise here one of these days on coming up with a rig for my close-up camera. All right, so I'm just going to clip. It's hot down here today. I don't know what's going on. Just started, so I don't have much to show yet. Well, and that's the beauty of these types of schemes, right? You know, it's just a little bit every month to keep you excited about the process until they stop shipping you the kits, model space. All right, so this piece goes here. Okay. I need to get some more CA glue for this. All right, so the problem with stockpiling the Enterprise is if you need a replacement part, Eagle Moss won't replace outside of 30 days from shipment. Oh, that's interesting. So they probably learned from the folks over at Model Space about all of us who were stockpiling our kits. And they're like, nay, we're not going to fall for that. So, well, look at you, Eagle Moss. Oh, they just announced it. Okay, wow. Interesting. Eagle Moss, now, they also do the, is it the DeLorean and the Ecto one? Those, and they're like pretty decent sized cars, right? I think Adam Savage is actually doing an Ecto one, but I don't know if it's from Eagle Moss or not. Okay. Oh, if you hear children, it is officially summer here in New Jersey. And so my wife, who is a teacher, and our children are all home right now. They're all playing upstairs while letting me live stream for the channel. So thank you, honey, when you watch this later. She won't watch this later. These types of videos are the ones that bore her the most. She likes the ones where I'm actually making furniture and stuff. Useful things around the house, not silly things like studio scale Millennium Falcons and the like. So, okay, test fit. We did the test fit. All right, so this piece was 2, and 2 goes there. Aha. Okay. We're just gonna. Whoa! We got some leakage. Yeah, it's for these ones. I really need to get some of the more thinner glue. But just look at those detail. So I'm literally. Can you see that? This is the level of detail that we're getting on this kit. Just these are things that you would never see on an MPC or an Ertel type of kit. And that's what makes this kit fun and cool. I mean, you kind of have to have that level of fidelity with a studio scale kit. I mean, otherwise, what's the point? Then you're just kind of stuck with a Hasbro something or other. Part 3 is, how's this coming out? Okay, I'll be right about there. New poly. I'm walking while I'm walking my dog and the kids, so I know all about them being home. Yes, it's good to have a understanding spouse through this journey. Are you going to prime and repaint the hull? Yes, I'm actually really looking forward to priming and painting the hull. I'm going to prime it. I actually think I have all my paints too. I'm going to prime it in gray. Or do I have my paints? I have so many paints back there. I can't keep track of them all. But I'm going to prime it in gray, and then I'll overcoat it with. I actually think I didn't do the Archive X stuff, but I tried to follow the instructions on the RPF. Is Insignia white the white? I think it's Insignia white. Oh, is this it right here? That's flat white. whatever the white is that they recommended on the RPF and in the DeAgostini build group on Facebook is the paints that I planned on doing. Yes, I am having a lot of fun putting this kit together. I've always loved model kits. I think I may have mentioned this on a previous episode, but like some of my best childhood memories were going to the craft store, because in Maine we didn't have hobby stores, we had craft stores where you could buy crafty things. And walking down the model aisle and seeing all of the fresh Star Wars kits, boxes of them. Like, you can't walk into a Hobby Lobby or a Michaels or an AC Moore now and see that many models in one spot anymore. And trying to find a Star Wars model kit in any of those places is kind of ridiculous, because they just don't make many of them. I mean, Bandai has a great collection of Star Wars kits, but they're snapped together. They're somewhat pre-painted. They're snapped together kits. The smell of the tester's plastic model glue and the tester's enamel paint and all that fun stuff, you don't really get that with these newfangled kits. But you do get detail that you previously didn't get back in the day. I do have some fresh in the package kits. I have a speeder bike, I have a snow speeder, and I have a shuttle Tidarium. I have too many models. I cannot wait to do the shuttle Tidarium. I've done that one a few times over the years. And actually, I lit one. I'll have to post some pictures on the Facebook page, but I lit one. And it came out, it was like one of the first kits I ever lit. This was probably 10 years ago, and it was awesome. I have the Tamiya Gray Primer and Insignia White on the way. Oh, awesome. Okay, yeah, so it was Insignia White. Tony Cox, sorry, was away from the keyboard. Huge package arrived and had an argument with my wife. What did I miss? Oh, what was this huge package? Why are you leaving us in suspense? We all have to know. All three of us that are participating in this conversation need to know what the big package was. Oh, tell your wife I said happy birthday, belated birthday. It was yesterday, I believe, right? I think that's what the Facebook told me. Okay. Yeah, the old black and gray boxes with the red Return of the Jedi logo. My favorite was the show. Yes, yep. I think they even came with a postcard, like a 5x7 or something postcard with like the old movie posters on them. There was this great store in Brooklyn Heights. It was actually called St. Mark's Comics, and it was and Tony, you might know this one. There was another St. Mark's Comics in St. Mark's Place in Manhattan. They had a second store in Brooklyn Heights. The Brooklyn Heights store had a huge model collection of the vintage Ertel and MPCs. And I remember back when I lived in the city, I would head over there on the weekends and pick up a kit to build. All right, so this 1, 2, 3, 4. I remember picking up like the AT-AT, the AT-AT. That is a studio scale kit I would love to do. That's a grail kit for me. The studio scale AT-AT. And I know that there are makers out there who have molded and or sculpted and cast them, and they're beautiful. They're really expensive. I remember I saw one on, I don't think it was the RPF, it may have been the Star Wars Builders, Model Kit Builders Club page. But one guy did one, and it was like $2,000 for a studio scale kit. A kit for $2,000. For less than $2,000, I could pick up the EFX replica of the studio model. So that's crazy. You know, I think with the proliferation of 3D printing and that platform, we're going to see prices of models go down, or garage kits go down, which is good for the hobbyists, bad for the sculptor, of course. But I mean, that's kind of the state of the world, right? If I can print out a studio scale kit on my Elegoo Saturn, you know, for a fraction of the cost of a fresh kit, then by golly, the cheap side of me will say, yes, you're going to do that. Tony Cox, it's a storage box for a card game called Marble Champions. It's as big as a Calyx cube shelf. Yes, I remember those stores, and yes, Sarah's birthday was yesterday. Okay. Scott, there's a model store in South Jersey near Cherry Hill called Mega Hobby. That's like Model Mega. Really? Well, I might have to go down to Cherry Hill and check that out. Thank you for the recommendation. I'm very excited to go check that out now. Yeah, going into a hobby shop with model kits is like, it's like walking into an old-fashioned toy store. It just elicits all of those wonderful emotions of childhood and nostalgia. So this, that just kind of plops right in there. I hope I'm getting all of this. I need to get like a monitor for my phone. Because I film in 4K. So this is an iPhone 11, I think. Whatever the previous version was. And on the outer cameras, you can shoot in 4K. And the inside camera, you can only go up to 1080, I believe. And since I shoot on 4K in general, I want to match the resolution, which is why I have it turned this way. But I have to keep on looking over here to see what I'm actually doing. Okay, so we did 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 goes over 3. So here's where we kind of get we get creative. So this is 5. My kids and I were in heaven. My wife couldn't wait to leave. Yes. Yeah, that sounds about right. I think my wife will wait in the car if we go down there, or I'll just do a solo trip. Cherry Hill's maybe like an hour and a half from me. But I have some pals down that direction, so I can make like an afternoon of it or something. Plus my job takes me on the road sometimes, and maybe I can finagle a trip down there. So, do you hear the stampede of children upstairs? Yes. That is my daughter, Lyra. She's very excited about something. Her aunt is here right now. So she's probably showing her unicorn shoes or something like that. My kids aren't old enough to appreciate models just yet, but I'm hoping that I do have at least my daughter into Star Wars, and especially the newer content for kids. And so I'm hoping as she gets older, she'll appreciate the making of models. Oh yeah. Oh. Sounds like my daughter and son are now fighting. Cool, cool. I'm just going to announce the game from down here. My wife's got it. She is super mom. Okay. These pieces are so tiny. So tiny. Do y'all have tiny pieces like that on the Enterprise kit? Oh, so Scott, for your Enterprise kit, are you using, what kind of CA glue are you using? Are you using like the thin stuff, or are you using the gel? I'm using the gel, and I like it for some things, but not others. Okay. And then part 7. Part 7 is this. All right, so, all right, I will definitely narrate the action. Got to go. Okay, yes, Yeah, I'll probably be on late, Mr. Tony. But yes, I will come and hang out this evening for sure. Scott says the thin stuff, never tried the gel. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Yeah, I think I'm going to add the thin stuff to my toolbox here. Oh, the Enterprise does not have much glue. Okay, yeah, Tony. The Falcon has a lot of glue, lots of glue. I also think that maybe the Falcon's a little bit older. I could be wrong, but and as the technology changed, they were able to do the Enterprise a little bit differently to make it more or less easier to put together. Okay, so you're just screwing the components together on the Enterprise. That's cool. I've never done a Star Trek model. I'm actually not much of a fan. My friend Tony, who was just on, has tried to get me over the last 20 years to go on that journey, and I just can't. I've tried. I really have. But the route that Star Wars is going these days. So what I liked about Star Wars back in the day was it was simple. It was 3 movies. You had the cartoons like Droids and Ewoks, and you had the Caravan of Courage and that stuff. But it was simple. It was easy to keep track of. Versus Star Trek, which had its series in like the 60s, I guess, and 70s, and then when I was growing up, there was the Next Generation, and I think Deep Space Nine, and et cetera, and the universe just got so huge, and my fragile brain can't keep up with all that stuff. And so, one of the reasons I loved Star Wars so much back then was that it was simple. It was just the 3 movies. You had the adventures set for you, and you could create your own as you so choose. But Star Trek was complicated for me. Now we have 9 in the saga. You have Solo, Rogue One. You have Clone Wars, Rebels, Bad Batch, Mandalorian. Now our Star Wars universe is getting very expansive, which is good. I mean, it's from a marketing perspective and a content perspective, you need to do those things to keep it fresh. As a fan, I'm happy to have the trilogy that I grew up with, and for the things that I make, they're usually aligned with the original trilogy. Although there's some things in the new movies that I really do like. I will say that Rogue One is probably my favorite of the ones that have come out in recent history. Tony Cox. Scott. The Falcon kit is from 2014-15. Enterprise was announced in late 2019, likely engineered the year before, so different manufacturers. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Tony Cox, I'm back. Tony Cox, you're not smart enough for Star Trek. Oh, I can always leave it to you to take me down a few pegs. Thank you. Scott, yeah, I couldn't keep track of Trek after DS9, but TNG was my jam. See, I remember TNG. I liked TNG, but then over the years, I just kind of fizzled out. Ronin Blade, the Falcon has a lot of greeblies. Of course, they need to be glued. Yes, that's what I'm doing right now. There are so many. Just this one piece alone I've put in. I think I'm doing number 8 right now. And but again, and showing for those who are not really familiar with this kit, like all this stuff has been glued in. This not a lot of this is molded. Like these pipings and things like that. Like this is just some phenomenal detail. So bravo to the folks who sculpted this kit and manufactured it in a way that's easy to put together. But yes, Ronin Blade, so many greeblies. So many greeblies. Scott, I'm okay with expansive for Star Wars. I read all the books in the 90s, loved the saga. Happy to get some of the new content. Mandalorian's been great. Rogue One, yes, Rogue One was phenomenal. Mandalorian's been great. So HasLab did their Razor Crest. And so when HasLab did the katana, I was so bummed I didn't get that. Like, again, Return of the Jedi, that's my movie. That's the one I saw in the movie theaters first. That's what I grew up with. I love Return of the Jedi. I love Jabba. I love the Emperor. Anything that has to do with Return of the Jedi, I know I'm probably going to start some controversy with folks, but Return of the Jedi is one of my favorite original trilogy ones. And the Katana is a great ship, the sail barge. And I didn't get it. And, of course I have buyer's remorse, and I'll see it, on eBay for quadruple the amount of money that it cost to buy in the first place. Rightfully so. I mean, Star Wars, once it's out the gate and in your collection, it starts generating a value, And as, I used to be a day trader. I still actively trade, not on a daily basis, maybe, but several times a week I'll trade. And so I look at these things as investment pieces. And so when the Razor Crest was announced, and I picked up, I think, 3 of them for pre-order, and then it closed, they got so many backers, it's going into production, all that stuff. And then like a month later, okay, spoiler alert if you haven't seen, from HasLab. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen season 2 of The Mandalorian by now, but they blow up the Razor Crest. So all these people who bought the Razor Crest, which was kind of like the new Millennium Falcon, Disney blew it up. So this can go one of 2 ways. Either season 3, they find a way to bring the Razor Crest back from the dead. B, everyone loses interest in it because they replace it with something completely new and awesome, and I am now stuck with something that I can't really sell for a profit. Or B, they still don't do anything with the Razor Crest, but it becomes more valuable, and then the margin skyrockets. So we shall see when it gets delivered. I don't know. But yes, I do not collect toys. I do not collect helmets or anything like that. But I do buy them for investment purposes. And I know I'm probably pissing off a lot of people who didn't get in on that. So I'm sorry, but this is how we feed the children. Okay. I haven't gotten to the greeblies yet. I'm waiting on some paint to show up, so I skipped right to the frame. We'll start greebling soon. Yeah, I'm kind of doing the greeblies as they go, because I'm also doing the series. I don't know if any of you have watched the series that I'm making for the channel about putting this together, but I'm kind of doing it as the issues come in. So I'm doing them per issue. So I'm just doing what the issues tell me. It will be a challenge when it comes time to paint all this stuff, because I'm going to have to be getting into the nooks and crannies with my air gun. My airbrush, but that's okay. All right, then this piece goes here. Here. These are just so, okay, all done. This section is done. That is just so friggin' cool. And then when it comes time to paint this, we'll prime it. I'll put down probably a flat black in there, and then overcoat it with like a dark gray or something, just to give it some dimension. And that's going to look really great on the ship. So we'll forgive you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for forgiving me for buying and selling. $800. So I think the Razor Crest it wasn't that much. I think I got 3 of them, and it was like $1,200, so $400 a piece. Yeah. That is true. They did blow up the Katana. They murdered Jabba the Hutt by blowing him up in the Katana. That's what got me started with your channel. Was a bit jarring when you were 25 issues further on the live stream. Yeah. So, oh well, thank you for watching the episodes. Yeah, I'm kind of behind. So I'm in real life, I'm way ahead than what the channel does. I commit to doing 2 big videos a month, and sometimes certain things trump them. Like I'll do Halloween episodes. Like last year I did Freddy Krueger's paper mache house, or Nancy's paper mache house, and a Beetlejuice inspired candy shoot. But I can only really commit to the 2 episodes per month because of work and family, and plus doing this stuff takes time. Like I just did a dresser for my wife, and that took me, a month and a half to produce. Just build it. Okay, so that was issue 42. And let me just hit record on the camera again. Excuse me. Oh, ow. And alrighty. Ow. I need to come up with like a whole new work area here. Love it. Oh, thank you. Ronan Blade says, hopefully Lucasfilm brings in a new Razor Crest. It's going to be very interesting to see what they do with that ship, because it quickly became an icon of the series and of the universe. It's just a great looking ship. It became a character unto itself, and so the way that they got rid of it was very unromantic. So it'll be interesting to see what they replace it with, or if they don't and they just find a way to resurrect it. I don't know. I think they'll give him a new ship. You think they'll give him a new ship as well? Oh, the forgiveness was for Jedi being my favorite. Oh, okay. Thank you. Yes, I always get raised eyebrows when I say that Jedi was my favorite. But let's see. So I was born in 81. The re-release of of Return of the Jedi, I think was 85 in the theaters. I'll have to go back to the transcript and check on that one. But I remember it. I remember going there with my grandmother, Nana Billy, favorite person on the planet. She took me there. I remember seeing Jabba the Hutt on the big screen. And I remember it was also, like, merchandise was everywhere, and especially for a 4-year-old, 5-year-old, it was a great time, for the toys and all that stuff. So that was kind of like my introduction. And then I remember my dad had on Betamax, and I wish I had this still, Star Wars. This was Star Wars pre-episode number or pre-episode name. Like A New Hope, I don't think that came into existence until the 90s when they did the special editions, right? Is that when the episodes happened? Because before that, it was just Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, and Star Wars Return of the Jedi. And then it was the 90s. Again, have to go back to the transcript unless you guys know. I don't know where I was going with that one. Anyway, but that's why I love Return of the Jedi. Ronan, I'm hoping the Mando builds his new ship. That'd be cool. That'd be a fun twist. He probably has the skills to do that for sure. Tony Cox, the episode is literally called The Tragedy. Tony Cox, got to go buy some wood glue for this project. Wood glue for your Enterprise or for the giant box that arrived? Okay. Yeah, don't use wood glue on your Enterprise. Okay, so now we're moving on to issue 43. What are we at for time right now? Oh, we have about 20 minutes left. All right, so this one, let me stop you and restart. I'm actually going to pick up a different angle for this one. Excuse me. All right, I think we're going to do the in front of my face view here. So this one, actually, can I get it closer? And there we go. Okay. So now this one, we're fitting the forward cover plates. So we're actually working on some hull pieces, finally. A New Hope got the episode 4 revision when it was released in theaters in 1981. Oh, interesting. I didn't realize it was that early. Okay. Huh. Good to know. All right, so these parts, oh crap. All right, so these parts are all over the place. Oh, well, we have this part right here. We have this part here. And then this part, 27 came with issue 35. All right, so pro tip, if you think of it, make sure you keep your pieces together, because right now all my pieces are in this big box. So now I have to find where this piece is. Oh, that's not it. All right. And Empire was episode 5, right from its original theatrical release. Really? Interesting. Okay. Wow, I was way off then. But Star Wars originally was just Star Wars, right? Back in 77. Ah, found it. Okay. All right, so this can go over here. This is my studio scale TIE Fighter that I'm currently working on. Or I'm also working on. I feel like I'm currently working on 1,000 things right now. I keep all the pieces in their original baggies until I need to use them. Pro tip right there. That is a smart thing. My pal Alex, who's also doing this, also suggested that. And I wish I had received that advice 42 issues ago. Yes, originally was just Star Wars. The studio didn't think it would make any money, and sequels weren't even a thought. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I've always heard conflicting things about the whole, it's always supposed to have been 9 movies. So to that point, it was just the 3. It didn't become 6 movies until way later on. But aren't there people that say that he always envisioned it being 9 movies? Or is that a myth? Discuss. All right, so we got this piece, and this piece goes here. Oh, I'm missing another piece. Okay. Scott says, Lucas changed his mind all the time. That's what I thought. Okay. Yeah, even if you watch all the different documentaries, you know, the sequel scheme is different in all of those as well. You know, watching ones from early on versus watching the ones from like the prequels. It's like, what are y'all thinking about? What y'all doing? What's going on? Okay, where? Oh, where? All right, well, the battle between the children upstairs, it sounds like someone may have drawn blood. No, I'm joking. That's not really what happened. Okay, well, I'm missing a piece, so I'm going to have to carefully go through all that, but I can at least get these two started. All right, so, and then what do we have here? He claims he had 9, but going back to mid-'80s, he said it was 6, but looking at old drafts of his, it was like 3, so who the heck knows? Yeah. I think the prequels would have been better if Lucas hadn't directed them himself. Yeah. Oh, look, there's the piece I was looking for. It was right there the whole time. That's an interesting comment, and I actually agree with you 100%. I mean, Empire was, it was what, Irvin Kershner, and Return was Richard Marquand, and Star Wars was Lucas. And I mean, Empire is one of the most popular ones out of all of them, and it was directed by someone else. It was written by what was it, Lee Brackett, and then Lawrence Kasdan kind of took it home. But yeah, I agree. You know, I think he fell to the trap of technology and exploiting technology And what happens is it turned it into a mess, a technical mess. The story's not that bad, but when you watch, I recently made my wife watch the prequels. I don't know why. I think I was in a mood to punish us. And we have a 4K 75-inch or 85-inch television. And we have the Blu-rays. This was before Disney Plus, yeah. So we had the Blu-ray. So it was only Blu-ray quality. And they look like crap because they're so much green screen. It looks like you're watching a cartoon. It's crazy how bad the quality is. Now, I haven't watched the upscaled 4Ks on Disney Plus yet and see if the quality is any better, but the fact that they look like a cartoon most of the time just goes to the overuse of technology there. If it was Lucas, except his wife and people who weren't him cut it together before they did, the movie was a boring mess. Oh yeah, Marsha Lucas, right? Yeah, Marsha Lucas. I forgot she was, and she won the Oscar for editing, didn't she? I feel like I'm in a trivia contest right now of all random people that from the Star Wars universe. Yes, and she was a very talented editor. Had quite the career before Star Wars too. Okay, so this is we're attaching magnets, but I think I'm missing some pieces here. Oh no, these are tiny, tiny magnets. Holy cow! Need 4 magnets and 4 steel pins from issue 41, and the 2 pins that came with. Okay, so this. Oh crap! The quality is better, but still way too CG. Okay, yeah. Sorry, apparently I know way too much about Star Wars. Hey, no, that's what we're here for, to nerd out, to chat while I'm building a studio scale Millennium Falcon, my friend. So it's okay to know a lot about Star Wars. That's what we're here for. That and project organization, because now I can't find the other magnets from the last issue. So let me just turn this off, move you over here. Okay, so we have, see, I started labeling. Aha! Oh, look at that. Okay. Found them. Be careful with the magnets, easy to lose. Thank you, Ronan. Thank you. Yeah, it was funny. I was just commenting the other day, too, about how some of these things, I think it was actually during last week's stream, some of these things are super, super tiny, and they don't give you extras. Like, if you lose something and you lose it, you're bummer, dude. So, yes, thank you. That is a good tip. Yes, work on yours while I'm working on mine. That would be awesome. And where are you? And refresh my memory. Where are you at on your build again? You haven't started, right? You've been collecting them all. Okay, I'm recording again. All right, so we have these tiny. I'm going to work very carefully with these. Okay, so we have the steel pin. Okay, I'm going to follow these instructions to the T because I typically don't read the instructions. I just look at the pictures, and sometimes that gets me into trouble. So first we're going to test fit, and that fit very nicely. We're going to test fit this one, which goes this way. That, I'm assuming these are the covers for like the mount. And then this one goes here, that one goes there. Han Solo to Chewbacca, Empire Strikes Back. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I can play this game. Scott, I'm working on the landing gear assembly, not landing gear, boarding ramp. Oh, okay, yeah. I think I did that 2 streams ago. Maybe that was the first stream that you joined us on. All right, so test fit the cover plates, check. Fit the thin end of a steel pin into one of the sockets. All right, so this is, All right, so it actually slid in very nicely. So many "that's what she said" jokes here throughout this entire project. But I'm still going to put in, Ronan, do you recommend putting some glue on here with these magnets for the steel pins? I think I'm going to go that route, just to be on the safe side. Okay. And we're just going to do a little, you know what, for this actually, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on this piece right here. Just a little bit. And then I can dip it, and dip it good. And then we just pop it in. Boom. Look at that. Tiny steel pin. Tiny steel pin right there. You can't even see that. Okay. Yes, it was. I would. Okay, good. All right. Then I'm on the right track here. All right. So we have one steel pin. Let's do the others. These magnets are ridiculous. That's how tiny the magnets are. So yes, you can't pick those up in Home Depot. That is a phone call to my friends at Model Space, who I'm already annoyed with. All right, and then I'm just going to put these all in. Oh, I didn't test fit. That's all right. Do 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 do, ding ding. Now I have "whip it" stuck in my head. Whip it into shape. Shape it up. Get straight. Go forward. Just move ahead. Nice, nice. And boom. All right, that's way too small. Yes, and again, this is like one of those things where if I was on the product team of ye ol' Millennium Falcon, I would have said, you know what? This kit's not made for the tiny-handed folk. It's made for the big-handed folk. And because of that, let's be gentle and give them spare parts. But nay, I was not the product manager. And so we have to be careful. Do 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 do. I need to figure out, I actually have a spare iPhone. Maybe I can set that up so I can stream close-ups while I'm doing this. I'll have to figure that out. These streams are so I think about them all week. Like, what am I going to stream this week? And like last week, I even had a topic to discuss. It was horror movies. This week, I had no idea what to talk about. But this turned out to be a great conversation. But I'm learning new stuff every time I'm doing this. Should I add an overhead camera to live stream with so you guys can see all the close-up stuff that I'm doing here? So I'll have to figure that out for next week, how to get that set up appropriately. All right, so now that the metal pins are in, I'm going to figure out how to install the magnets, and then we'll call it good. That's having bad 80s flashbacks. Yeah, yeah, sorry. Right. The only spares you ever get are screws. Yeah, screwed over in that way. Nice. I like what you did there. Yeah, I have so many screws. And after this project, I have no idea what I'm going to do with them all. I'll find a fun little crafty project to do with them. All right, so now we're just going to wrap this up with, where are the toothpicks? The toothpicks are, oh, you know what? I have a broken X-Wing gun, so I'm just going to use that. So I'm just going to get a little dab of glue again, and what I'm going to do is Where are the magnets? Okay, the magnets. All right, these are the magnets. These magnets are so tiny. And actually, okay. So I'm going to just use the X-Wing gun as a toothpick because I can't find where I put all my toothpicks. And I'm just going to put some glue down and so yep, okay. And okay, it's in. And then so I'm putting the magnet on to the stud first so I can make sure that I have the correct side on, which I do. Okay, fantastic. All right, and I didn't get any of that recorded, so now I'm gonna have to do the other ones. But yeah, these are stupid tiny. Screwed over in that. Okay, yeah. Well, folks, we're nearing the end, and I don't know if you can hear the battle royale upstairs. I think I need to go rescue my wife. So let me just finish this up, and we will continue this journey next week. Actually, let me just do this real quick. Boom, 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 boom. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then one more. Do you know how you're planning to mount this? Going with the Diego TV mount or something else? I am not a fan of the Diego mount. Because it's a TV mount, and it looks like a TV mount, and it correct me if I'm wrong, but it's pretty much just flat up against the wall. You can't even put it into an aerial pose. Is that correct? Because if that is definitely true, then I'm definitely turned off by it. I may have it in landing mode. If I can figure out a secure way to mount it in an aerial fashion, I'll do that. But I don't think I'm going to do the TV mount. Yeah, okay, it is very limited. Ronan, make sure you glue them all the way in. Awesome, brother. Yes, I'm trying to be very generous here with the glue. I think when I did my R2, when I was mounting magnets, I actually used epoxy, 2-part epoxy, and let it cure for like several days, just to make sure I got the tightest and strongest bond possible. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this super glue holds up. But all right, so we have our pins in, we have our magnets in. I'm not going to put them on now because I want to give them some time to cure. But that was it for issue 43. That's the other thing about these issues. The higher you go up, okay, I think I'm done recording. The higher you go up, the less things that happen in each issue. And I think it's just their way of trying to make this go on as long as possible. Like, if this was the only thing I got in the month, I would have been, I mean, that took me what, 20 minutes to do? I don't know. So anyway, that's just a little grievance I have with this kit, on top of the fact that I don't know what the future holds for the rest of this kit. So Tony Cox, I'm back just in time for the end. Sorry, my man. I'm going to try mounting it to a camera mount through the bottom gun turret so I can suspend it here on an angle to get that flying look. Well, that's interesting. I'm looking at mounting my TIE Fighter the way that they mounted them for the blue screen in 77, where they had a blue glass pylon, which they then attached the TIE Fighter to, which I thought would be kind of a cool way to display it. I'm more into the practical effect version of the model versus how it showed up on film model, if that makes any sense. And so I like your idea of doing something like that, and maybe I can mount it similar to how they mounted it on the Dijkstraflex system. Ronan, the TV mount covers up a lot of the bottom. That's what I was afraid of too. Check out videos by Christopher Olson. He did it that way, and his looks incredible. Okay, yes. Oh, I love Chris Olson's stuff. He is a talented guy. He's inspired me on several things, not just with this kit, but with other projects I've done too. Love that guy. All right, folks. Well, thank you so much for spending time with me on my lunch break today. It was fun chatting with you all and spending some time with you and learning from you. I appreciate it. Tony, Scott, Ronan, and whoever else was watching that didn't want to chime in. That's awesome too. Actually, I just looked over here. Oh gosh, Mom, are you watching? I guess I just realized that there's a whole nother stream chat on this other screen, and my mother was there. So hi, Mom, if you're still watching. Okay, so thanks again. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel at youtube.com/madebyap so you'll be notified the next time I go live. I tend to be doing this. I'm going to keep up the momentum. I'm live on Fridays at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, doing everything right. Actually, all of these have been Star Wars things, so I'm hoping that eventually I'll find something else to do. But also make sure you subscribe to the channel because I do other things than Star Wars stuff. All right. Thanks again, as always. And until next time, stop planning and start making something.